Well, hello. Today is Friday, July the 3rd, and it's my pleasure to bring the most recent update on the COVID-19 situation here in the city of Belleville for our residents, for our businesses. Of course, I'll remind everybody we have a COVID-19 page on the city website at belleville.ca, and I encourage you to go there for all the up-to-date information, including the services and the programs that we have to support people through these difficult times. Today, I am in the log cabin, the famous log cabin that is the home of the Belleville Chamber of Commerce. The Belleville Chamber of Commerce is being in operation in our city for 156 years, and it's a great service provider. They not only represent business and do things to advocate for them, but they also serve as the city's visitor information center. And so people can come here and they can get maps of the region and the area. They get information on businesses and restaurants and hotels and all the things that visitors might have. And most importantly, they also run a number of events for the city. And I'll be talking about the changes for the Waterfront Festival this year, but the Chamber is contracted by the city to provide a number of our events, and they do a fantastic job. And we'll talk a little bit more about that. On Monday, this coming week, we have a City Council budget meeting. So we're a little late this year because of COVID and the impact. We normally set our budget in April, but we are setting it on Monday, and it is our first time that we're back in person as a City Council since early March. And I can tell you that the meeting starts at 9 a.m. on Monday, and it is open to the public, although we are restricting the numbers of people so that we can have social distancing. And if you look in this picture, we're setting up the council chambers to be able to get everybody ready, but that's on Monday, July the 6th at 9 a.m. You can also watch it streaming live or archived version later on. Another phenomenal week for our region. We have 0 active cases when it comes to the COVID-19 virus. So far we've done 10,784 tests for our region, which is statistically significant because it is a true reflection of what is occurring. And again, a number of people still want to get tested. They may have to get tested because of work, they may have symptoms, they may want to go and see a loved one in long-term care. You can call the COVID-19 Assessment Center at 961-5544, area code 613, and the telephone is in operation 7 days a week from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. They ask that you make an appointment just so they don't overwhelm them all at once, but they are doing those swabs, and it's something that is good for peace of mind, and it's necessary, and our region is doing really, really well. A little bit more on that later as I talk about masks and mandatory mask issues. This has been the first full week that we've had our splash pads open, and they are in operation from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. We have 3 of them. This is designed to help people. It's really, really hot right now, so it's been great for families with little kids to get out there and to deal with it. This is the second week that City Hall has been open to the public, and again, between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. People can come, or they can make appointments, which is what we recommend, so they can do their services at City Hall. And I'm happy to say we're issuing marriage license again. We had to stop for a while because we had to do that in person, but we're able to do that. And then the Cooling Center is open now, and that's open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. It's at the Quinte Sports and Wellness Center on Canafton Road, and you can gain entrance from the west side to go in the senior center there, and so you can go there to utilize it. It's designed for the next few days, to be open during these hot temperatures, and I encourage you to be there. The last thing before we get into some other business is just a reminder that on-street parking concerns, particularly by the Belleville General Hospital, while we have reduced the enforcement of parking to understand that more people are at home, that doesn't mean that people who are visiting the hospital should park on side streets and in front of other people's homes. So I'm just giving a caution to people who might be doing that we are starting to enforce that as we move along. And also traffic at the intersection of Sydney Street and Bell Boulevard West is a little bit heavier because of some of the work. We don't normally have traffic concerns in Belleville, particularly when you compare ourselves to the big cities, but it's a bit of a problem for us, and so just to let you know about that. Over this next weekend, I encourage you to go and visit our pop-ups shops down at Zwicks Park. That is open from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. I believe. Information is on the screen here about the vendors as well as the times. And then as you go around the city, downtown and elsewhere, we have wonderful outdoor patios. Our businesses are reopening. I encourage you to support them. So let's talk about this COVID situation, and there's a lot of discussion about mandatory masks. On Tuesday, I was on a conference call with about 25 other mayors in the region dealing with the Prince Edward Hastings Health Unit, and Dr. Cadaret explained that at this point, they are not recommending a mandatory mask requirement. She went through what needs to be proven in order to issue a Section 22 order. Those of you who are following current events know that's what is issued in Kingston with their outbreak last week. In order to have a Section 22 order, she needs to be satisfied that there is evidence of an imminent threat of this virus. There are 0 cases in our region right now, and so she does not feel it meets that test. Also, that she feels that the actions that are in the order, so wearing of the mask, must deal with that imminent threat. And again, she said there are no cases at this time. And then she had some concerns regarding enforceability and the supply. That's not to say that things may change in the future, and she was very apparent, but at this time, today, July the 3rd, she is not recommending an order, a Section 22 order, or she's recommending that municipalities proceed with their own bylaws on this. So that's where we are. From the very beginning of this whole situation, I wanted to do a few things. First of all, I wanted to approach it in a calm, cool, and collected manner with no panic and no jumping to conclusions. We also said that we would trust the experts and take medicine or science would be our decision-making process. So at this point, based on their excellent advice, and these are people with the credentials to back up that advice, we are not proceeding with a mandatory mask bylaw in the city of Belleville or in our region, but we will see what happens in the future and we'll deal with it then. The last thing I want to talk about is the Chamber of Commerce, and normally we would be getting ready for a wonderful waterfront festival at Swicks Park with rides and food and crowds and music and all those things, but unfortunately COVID-19 has changed it. So we're now moving to what's called curbside culture. And curbside culture is the replacement activity that the Chamber has pivoted and put together. We're really, really proud of this great idea. And this is going to be something that for some people is familiar. And you may remember back in the 80s, we had Folkorama, and it was a similar activity where you would go to different locations in the city and you try different food, and it was fantastic. So this year, in 2020, because of these new COVID times, they looked for a COVID-friendly activity, and curbside culture is one of them. So you can go to the Belleville Waterfront Festival website. You can look it up on Google and get there, and they'll have information about how to get these passports. You can pick them up at the log cabin. You can also pick them up at participating restaurants. But the idea here is for people to have exposure to different areas of the world and different foods and different areas of our city. And so that's great. You are not able to pre-order, but you can go on and give an indication if you want to go and sort of the times so that those restaurants can prepare themselves. But as I said, more information is available on the Belleville Waterfront Festival website, and information about that is here on the screen. You can go and do it. With that, that's it for today's update. If you have any questions or any comments, you can always contact myself through our City of Belleville website. You can contact City Council. We're here to work with you. We're excited about next week's back face-to-face meeting, socially distanced, of course, and setting this year's budget. And I hope that residents will be very happy with the hard work that our staff have done to prepare a budget which recognizes these very crucial times. I'll be back next week with an update of how that meeting went, as well as how we are moving forward in the city. Thank you and have a great weekend.